At a North Carolina State graduation ceremony last week, a donor stood up mid-speech and told 202 students that their loans were paid off in honor of a father who immigrated from India to study at the same school in 1946. A man just recovered $400,000 in Bitcoin he'd locked himself out of 11 years ago by changing his password while high, and tarot readers are now using AI to interpret their own card readings, which is either completely logical or completely defeats the purpose, depending on how you look at it. This is News SideQuest, the show for people who want to know what else happened this week besides whatever everyone is furious about. I'm Keith Conrad. On May 8th at the Wilson College of Textiles, the Fighting Knitting Needles, donor and entrepreneur Anil Kochhar took the stage as the guest speaker. Midway through his remarks, he announced that he and his wife Marilyn would be paying off all final year education loans incurred by every graduate in the room during the academic year. The audience erupted. Students got a standing ovation going before anyone fully processed what had just happened. The gift covered 176 undergrad students and 26 master's graduates, 202 people in total. Kochhar said the donation was made in honor of his father, who traveled from India to study textile manufacturing at NC State in 1946. Believed at the time to be only the second Indian student ever enrolled at the university. He attended on a scholarship. After graduating in 1952, he built a career in New York. So here's what actually happened. A man whose father arrived in America from India 80 years ago with essentially nothing, received a scholarship, built a life, and raised a son who became successful enough to walk into that same auditorium and erase the starting debt of everyone in the room. That's the whole arc right there. Kochhar said he'd hoped the graduates would leave with greater freedom to pursue their goals and take risks. One graduate, Elisa DaCosta, said the gift would help both her and her family. 200 people had their loans cleared. Hundreds of thousands of other graduates this month did not. The student debt crisis is structural, and a single act of generosity, however amazing it is, doesn't change the architecture of it. Both things are true simultaneously. This is a genuinely wonderful thing that happened, and it also illustrates the scale of what needs to change. But I don't want to let the systemic observation swallow the human one. Mr. Kochhar didn't have to do this. He chose to. He did it for his father. And 202 people walked out of that auditorium carrying less weight than when they walked in. Has a stranger, or even someone you barely knew, ever done something for you that changed the trajectory of something in your life? Big or small, the thing you still think about.
Girlfriend's gonna get paid.
A guy known on X as @CPRKRN posted a thread this week that got 6 million views in about 24 hours. The short version, in college he bought Bitcoin when it was about $250 a coin. While high, he changed his wallet password to something he apparently thought was memorable and then completely forgot it. The wallet, containing 5 Bitcoin, sat locked for 11 years. He spent years trying to get back in, running through what he described as 7 trillion possible password combinations. Nothing worked. Last week, with Bitcoin worth somewhere between $80,000 and $100,000 per coin, meaning the wallet was worth somewhere around $400,000 to $500,000, he decided to try one more time. He dumped the entire contents of his old college computer into Claude. Rather than trying to guess the password, Claude analyzed the files, found an older wallet backup that predated the password change. It then identified a bug in the recovery tool he'd been using. The tool was processing the password in the wrong order, corrected the logic, ran the decryption, and extracted the private key. Claude cracked it. He said he was naming a future child after Dario Amodei, Anthropic's CEO. The technical reality, which some experts have pointed out, is that Claude didn't crack Bitcoin's encryption. Bitcoin's encryption remains completely intact. What Claude did was forensic analysis, sorting through old files to find something the user didn't know was there. then fixing a bug in an existing recovery tool. As one recovery expert put it, this isn't so much a password cracking thing as a forensic sorting. What we really need is a sobriety test built into the password changing process. Something that requires you to perform a task you couldn't do while impaired before it allows you to proceed. I stand by this as a genuinely useful product suggestion. Whoever builds it will be a hero. What's the worst decision you've ever made that technology either caused or helped you fix? The thing you look back on and can't believe you did. Or the save that shouldn't have worked but did. Remind me to tell you about the time that my brother and I got to a Cubs game and he realized he'd forgotten the tickets. But because it was the information age, we still got in the game.
So the combination is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the stupidest combination I ever heard in my life. That's the kind of thing an idiot would have on his luggage.
Well, did it work? Where's the key?
It works, sir. We have the combination.
Great. What's the combination?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes.
That's amazing. I've got the same combination on my luggage.
A study published in April and covered this week in Digital Trends and Religion News looked at something that sounds like a joke, but it is actually genuinely interesting window into why people consult tarot cards in the first place. Researchers examined how tarot practitioners, from beginners to experienced readers, are increasingly using AI to help interpret their own card readings. What makes this pairing strange is that interpretation is the entire point of tarot cards. The cards don't mean anything on their own. A 3-card spread has to be read in the context of the question, the reader's intuition, and the relationships between the cards. And yet readers are handing that step to AI. The study found 2 broad patterns. Some readers used AI as a shortcut when a spread felt hard to untangle, particularly when cards pointed in more than one direction. Rather than sit with the ambiguity, they'd ask the AI for the meaning. The AI's yes-man energy, as some participants described it, helped them feel more confident about an interpretation they've already half built. The researchers put their finger on something uncomfortable about this. Tarot asks people to sit with uncertainty, but ChatGPT is built to turn messy inputs into a confident answer. The AI doesn't actually know your situation. It doesn't know your history, your relationships, the specific context that makes this reading different from any other reading. It produces something that sounds like guidance, but it may not be. But here's what I think the study is actually pointing at, and it's more interesting than the AI angle. People consult tarot and astrology and coin tosses and gut feelings because they're trying to make decisions under uncertainty and they want something external to help organize their thinking. The cards don't tell you what to do, they give you a framework. Sometimes what you need isn't more information, it's permission to trust the answer you already have in your head. A customer should just cut out the tarot card reader as a middleman and go straight to AI, right? The tarot reader isn't really there to interpret cards, they're there to help you think. Whether a person or an AI does that better probably depends on what you actually need in the moment. Have you ever consulted something completely irrational to help you make a decision? A coin flip, a horoscope, a magic 8-ball, tarot cards, a feeling you couldn't explain? Did it work? What happened?
Just what do you think you're doing, Dave?
The Titanic series on SideQuest is running now, and it's a good weekend listen. This week they've arrived in Ireland, their last stop before hitting the open ocean. 10 episodes, free version for everybody, full extended cut for paid subscribers. If you want to help keep both feeds going and complete the story, a paid Substack subscription is the way to do it. Find SideQuests wherever you get your podcasts or visit newsidequest.com. French police have issued a public warning about drunken deer near vineyards and orchards in certain regions where deer have been eating fermented fruit and wandering into traffic. Officers describe the animals as unpredictable and difficult to approach. Someone had drunken French deer on their May bingo card, and I want to know who that person is. They're either very lucky or very strange.
A deer! A female deer.
A student in Missouri pleaded guilty after his own ChatGPT history was used as evidence against him. He'd apparently asked ChatGPT questions directly related to the crime before committing it, and prosecutors obtained the records. I just have to say that we're very fortunate as a society that most people who commit crimes are just kind of dumb.
Thank you for playing. Should we or should we not follow the advice of the galactically stupid?
A 65-year-old woman in Alabama shot and killed her 69-year-old husband and told prosecutors it was because he was annoying. There are legal remedies available for an annoying spouse that stop well short of killing them. Divorce, while imperfect, doesn't carry a murder charge. The bar for annoying in this case remains unclear.
She's terrifying.
A woman in Michigan was charged with stealing a bottle of wine by concealing it in a body cavity. The wine was available for purchase at a price that would have avoided all the pain and awkwardness. The commitment required to execute this plan is, if nothing else, impressive in a purely logistical sense.
I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
That's it for New Side Quest. 3 questions for your consideration. Has a stranger ever changed the trajectory of something in your life? The worst decision technology caused or helped you fix? And something irrational you consulted to make a decision and whether it worked out for you? Email me at newsidequest@gmail.com or the Substack comments. Have a great weekend. See you on Monday.